Matthew? Matthew Lee, Inner City Press. On behalf of the Free United Nations Coalition for Access, thanks a lot for the briefing. I wanted to ask you about, just in sort of a two-word phrase, this harm reduction. This is something that is much discussed out on 47th Street. Maybe you'll go out there. There are a lot of civil society people there. And it's a concept that's been accepted in a lot of cities, the idea of that if you can't stop it, at least have people not die of overdoses or contract diseases. And I wanted to I guess, get your own personal views and to discuss that. And also, a lot of civil society groups said that since it was negotiated in Vienna, and many of them don't have the money to be have a permanent presence there, that they, in a sense, were excluded from any kind of participation in the drafting of the document. And I wanted to know, as a Viennese resident yourself, what do you think this is true, and do you think that maybe the UN should, even in future contexts, should be sure to reach out to other than expensive cities in Europe and North America?
Just two parts of this issue. First of all, participation of civil society. I think we encouraged, as UNODC, the maximum possible participation of civil society. We supported the establishment of the civil society task force that combines efforts of the Vienna NGO Committee on Drugs and New York NGO Committee on Drugs. They have been working together, and there have been so many events, both here in New York. I remember I was here 2 or 3 times here in New York to meet with the civil society, as well as the chair of the UNGASS board and the chair of the CND, as well as the president of the General Assembly. The same has taken place in Vienna. Many meetings, events, UNGASS website, dedicated website has been open, and many civil society organizations provided their submissions to this site. The same, we also apply the same approach in Geneva, working with civil society there. And myself, I began my participation in the events related to the UNGASS with opening the Forum of Civil Society yesterday at 10 o'clock, and I think it was a very good and useful meeting. The conference room was a little bit smaller for all participants, but the discussion was very useful and positive. As far as harm reduction is concerned, I address you again to the outcome document, in particular paragraph O, page 7, which contains a very detailed description of the harm reduction. What is this? It doesn't use these 2 words, harm reduction, but it explains in all details what does it mean. I think it's more important. Of course, there are some sensitivities in the discussions. Sometimes certain words associated with some stereotypes, but the fact that delegations with different approaches agreed to this language, including medical assisted therapy programs, injecting equipment programs, as well as antiviral therapy and other relevant interventions that prevent transmission of HIV, viral hepatitis, and other bloodborne diseases. And even it contains a term which is very close to harm reduction, minimizing the adverse public health and social consequences of drug use. So it is here.
Yes, sir.